He's about ready to come on. About ready to perform for his small masses. The weak fool. He has no right to speak about me. I am King Sombra. I am the Lord of darkness. The true ruler of the Crystal Empire. He has no right. to insult me the way he did last year. I have to wait. His power grows from the day of hunger, from the day of You're at his peak, and I can't wait to show him, fear, his precious dark side. He is.
Greetings, one and all, for the last night of horrors beyond your imagining. Last time we looked at a hardened killer, a monster of a man who feeds the nightmares on everyone he ever touched, even my own. But darkness can lie even in the most innocent of places of peace, like Equestria, for example. Once I showed my favorite creepy moments that existed in the entire show's history. However, darkness within ponies lies forever. I can't think of no better way to spend the greatest day of the year than by showing true horrors. After all, friendship is terror. Friendship is magic. As I said before, despite the fact that it's mostly a slice of life comedy show, it has some dark moments. For Pete's sake, they did a complete homage to a horror movie known as 28 Days Later. That's just adorably terrifying. Nevertheless, I always do appreciate when the show does this. Horror to me is a very wonderful and welcome genre, and I always do like it when any medium decides to share its little dark side and try to scare the pants off its viewer. So, I'm gonna celebrate 5 more moments when MLP tried to scare the pants out of you. Namely, to me, these are some of the best moments of the show. They're not in particular order like last time, even if they are numbered, except for maybe number 1. That I would consider to be an honorable number 6 with my top 5 creepy MLP moments video. So, without further ado, let's get this started. These are 5 more scary MLP moments. Number 5. Stargamer has finally gained a little bit more of a favor with fans lately. Sure, there are some who still don't like her, but recent events have endeared her in the eyes of many. But that's not the question. The question is, why this particular moment? Simple. It's kind of horror that's rarely seen nowadays. An extreme of a very relatable fear. The fear of the loss of control. One of the things I love about Starlight is she's very impulsive and emotional. When a problem comes around her mind, she goes, just magic it, it'll fix itself. That's an interesting take on a character because it shows how she's still trying to adapt to equestrian life, even if she's lived there all her life. You know, they kind of have this when you're in a cult for a while. The episode also hits home for me because it's even though it's an on-the-nose metaphor of Starlight bottling up her emotions and her anger, where it gets kind of creepy when you see Starlight looking drained and anguished. Even the person she's angry with notices. And then, well, her anger gets released, so to speak. Although, it does lead to the funniest line in the episode.
Starlight! And you don't always have to bring up my dark past! I didn't know you had one, Granny Smith.
As I said before, though, this is a relatable fear. Containing all your anger until you finally snap. Even better, the concept of being possessed by your own anger is a huge metaphor, even if it did happen to other people. So, keep this as a cautionary tale. Keep your emotions in check. You never know the harm they may cause others, or the insanity they may bring. Number 4. The beauty of some of my favorite horror next to the slasher horror. The supernatural horror. Flutterbat is a fan favorite of the weird transformations that the pony have on the show, and with very good reason. The design on this pony is amazing. Plus the buildup of what she looks like, he really hits the nail home and sort of twists and contorts this into an even darker, more disturbing way. The way she moves through the night, even though she's not hunting the pony specifically. Her horrible transformations where you can actually hear the sound of her ear morphing. And, well, Bats, it's a really good episode on its own. Like any good horror story, though, even when the danger's past.
Stand back! I want to suck its juice!
Sure, she'll come back and scare Master, but to me, this was just plain awesome. Keep one eye open as you listen to the sounds of this night. For behind you, someone hungry for apples may lurk. Number 3. Well, guess this is gonna bite me in the butt. I've made it no secret that I think Somber is the worst villain this show has made because of his lack of potential. I felt that he was all seriously decent hype and no substance, really. However, he's given a bit of a chance to shine, and even the most vocal critics of him, like me, say that he used every bit of it. In the episode 2 Where and Back Again, Starlight's changing the past alters the futures in many ways. This horror is Somber's future. The horror not only comes with what he does, which is making mind-controlled pony drones, but what his conquest implies. We get to see Equestria when it's at war. And as I said before, sometimes the best kind of horror is the stuff we can relate to. So many ponies are doing their part, even when it's destroying their homes, their businesses, their livelihoods. But they're doing their part for the war effort, so it's okay. Not only that, but we get to see the battles, and some of our favorite ponies didn't exactly get out unscathed. I mean, look at poor Rainbow Wings. This short scene is probably one of the most subtle anti-war messages ever put in the show. Not only that, but, well, if I gotta give the devil his due, he basically made mind-controlled drones. I'm gonna have to repeat that again because I think it deserves a third line. Mind-controlled drones. He enslaved his people, they are his puppets, to do whatever he wants. So, Sombra, I admit, you still suck as a villain, but there was one time, even I have to kind of give it to you. Was someone behind me just now? Anyways, moving on. Number 2.
One little pony all by herself. Oh, how will I ever prevent this daring rescue?
Ever since the Changeling showed up, the Changeling Empire itself has been a fascinating process for the fans of MLP for a long time. Heck, even I wrote some fanfictions where some of my OCs ended up going there. So in Season 7, when we finally were shown it, it had a lot of expectations to live up to. And, it kind of paid off. This place is unsettling, with constant changing areas, every changeling around the corner had to continue to hunt our heroes. And some mind-breaking tactics applied. We feel the peril and the terror every step of the way. After that came Chrysalis herself. And of course that wonderful creepy entrance. She is still one of the best baddies this show has ever made, and this episode showed it. When Thorax was supposedly in danger, we could feel that at any moment, Chrysalis would snap his neck or something. Though the Changelings might be at peace now, we really should never forget their roots. And number 1 and honorable number 6 is... Oh, sweet Celestia above, this was terrifying. This episode started as kind of a blah for the most part. It just felt like a simple, my sibling is so much better than me and I can't escape her shadow, but it's okay because of X episode. Then Luna shows up and offers some enlightening words to Sweetie Belle, who just moments before had a horrific nightmare of its own. Which, yeah, honorable mention of that. That was creepy. However, little did you know that the nightmare had truly just begun. Sweetie gets to see one of the possible results of her actions. And it is utterly horrifying. We get to see how much Rarity's life spirals down to absolute devastation. Her maddening cries. The fact that she has completely isolated herself. And of course, the utter horror of this wonderful, lovely little image. This entire sequence was, pardon the pun, pure nightmare fuel, only brought to you by the Mare of the Moon herself. I'll give you this, Luna. I don't think Sweetie's ever gonna forget that. As I said before last time, I'm glad these moments exist. They make the show more interesting and make horror fans like me feel like they weren't being left out. They scare, but challenge. Terrify, but also make you stronger. That's kind of what fear does when you confront it. You never truly get over the things you're scared of, but when you face it and rise above it, it does a lot of benefit. But, as always, that's all I gotta say. Creature of the night.
Thank you for your kind words. I'll make your destruction less. Do you have any idea who you have angered? My name is King Sombra. I am the true ruler of the Crystal Empire. I am the ultimate power. You are more than a speck of destiny. You are tiny. I am mortal. Now burn away after all. That's all I gotta say. Your life out. What's this?
You little fool.
How are you alive? Where did he go? What is...
You know, I should thank you in a way. The dark side only changes after all. And of course, as I said last year, the Rainbow Factory Dash, and I will say it this year to you.
With every change comes evolution.
And every year, after year, after year, I only grow stronger. You're nothing more than a failure. That's all you will be, and that's all you'll ever be. That's all I gotta say. Your nightmare has just begun.